Welcome in everybody to the KC Sports Report. I am your host Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down if the Kansas City Chiefs should trade for cornerback Jalen Ramsey. The Chiefs have made a lot of good moves this offseason, but should they go all out and trade for cornerback Jalen Ramsey? Real quick, everybody go click the link to my Patreon in the description. There are a lot of cool rewards that if you become a patron, you're eligible to receive, so don't miss out. Alright, now let's get into the video. So should the Chiefs attempt to make a blockbuster trade to bring Jalen Ramsey to Kansas City? I go back and forth. This decision has a lot of pros and cons. First off, I don't think that Jacksonville is even considering trading him. They just signed Nick Foles, and I think that they believe they can contend. And even if the Jaguars are willing to trade him, they would want a ridiculous amount of players and draft picks for him. I don't know about you, but I don't want the Chiefs to trade away the entire future for one player, even if it is Jalen Ramsey. Here's another con. Jalen Ramsey is a very talkative player. He likes to get into it with opposing players, but also with coaches. The Chiefs do not tolerate that at all. Look at Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters got into it with coaches and was a problem in the locker room. Jalen Ramsey is a very similar player. He could potentially cause problems and ruin the chemistry in the locker room, which, in my opinion, isn't worth it at all. Now, with all that being said, here are some of the pros. He is a great player. I mean, he's a lockdown cornerback that would shut down opposing wide receivers. And the AFC West has a lot of talented receivers. Antonio Brown just joined the Raiders, and he's a guy that could take care of the best receivers on every team. He lays it all out on the field. Even though he can clash with coaches and teammates sometimes, he wants to win at all costs, and sometimes he lets his emotions get the best of him. But that just shows you how much he wants to win games, and I think that's something that the Chiefs want to instill in the younger players that they're bringing up. Also, he would help this team win Super Bowls for the next 2 to 3 years, which could be worth a trade by itself. Don't hate me, Chiefs fans, but if I had to choose between Patrick Peterson and Jalen Ramsey, I'm going with Jalen Ramsey. Here's why. Patrick Peterson is 28 years old, and Jalen Ramsey's only 24. Jalen Ramsey is in the prime of his career, and Patrick Peterson is in the later end of his prime. So the Chiefs would get a player in their prime rather than someone who is toward the end of his career. That's no knock on Patrick Peterson. I just think that the Chiefs could get a lot more production out of Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is also a big-time playmaker. And if this Chiefs defense could add another playmaker alongside Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark, this defense will be lethal. Let me know in the comments, should the Kansas City Chiefs trade for Jalen Ramsey? I'm all for it as long as the Chiefs don't give up too much. I would be fine if they traded their first-round draft pick next year, along with a few other high picks, but that's it. Anything more just doesn't make sense. If Jalen Ramsey does come to Kansas City, this defense will be Super Bowl caliber for many years to come. Hopefully the Chiefs can work out a deal that'll bring Jalen Ramsey to Kansas City. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everybody subscribe. It really helps out, and I really appreciate it. Go click the link in the description, and go support me on my Patreon. I would really appreciate it. Go check out my social medias. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the KC Sports Report by Michael Darcy.